watch fans, today I'm doing something I really don't do much on this channel. Not to say never. I'm actually going to do a review of a Rolex Homage watch, but I'm going to compare it to the original watch. So this is from the brand Milifortic. It is a brand I reviewed before. They do make vintage inspired military watches mostly, also dive watches, and they also produce some Homage watches. So let's have a closer look at this watch, and you will of course very quickly see which watch this watch mimics. So here we have it. This is the Milifortic Explorer Climbing Watch S093. You get this travel case, you get a manual, a fiber cloth, a really nice tool for removing links, all of the good stuff inside of this package. And it is a watch that is priced at $185 US. So let me very quickly run you over the specs and the performance of this Milifortic Rolex Explorer Homage watch before we compare it to the real deal, my own personal Rolex Explorer. So this is the 36mm version. It measures 36.2mm in diameter. You have a lock-to-lock distance of only 44.5mm. You have a thickness of 11.2mm. And then you have a lock opening of 20mm for the bracelet here. The crown, it does measure 6mm. The crystal is flat sapphire crystal with AR treatment according to the specifications. It has Swiss BGW9 superluminova lume. It is water resistant to 100 meters just like the original. Inside the watch beats a Seiko NH38 no date automatic movement. This movement beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and it holds 41 hours of power reserve. And as promised, comparing it to the original, here we have my personal example of the Rolex Explorer 214270 Mark II. The Mark II was produced between 2016 and 2021. This is from 2021, so it's a very late example, and it is of course the 39mm version. It does measure 39mm in diameter. It measures 11.2mm in thickness. It has a lock-to-lock distance of 47.5mm and a lock opening of 20mm. It does taper down to 15mm by the clasp. It has sapphire crystal just like the Milifortic. It has a Rolex in-house movement, the 3132 with 48 hours of power reserve. It is 100 meter water resistant just like the Homage. And it has chromalite lume. I'm going to show you the lume comparison also during this video. Both bracelets have screws, and I must say it was equally as easy to remove links on the Milifortic as it was on the original here. Of course we do have some differences on the dial, because of course it says a Rolex Oyster Perpetual below 12 o'clock on the original, Explorer, superlative chronometer, all of that stuff, which it doesn't say on the Milifortic. The handset is pretty much the same, the dial layout is pretty much the same, but as you see with the outer part of the dial here, you see the hour markings and the minute markings on the outer part of the dial. They're very different to the Homage watch. They're much more clear. And especially with the hour markings, you see that the stick here above the lume-filled hour marking is much wider, much bigger than on the Homage. Another difference is of course the finishing of the case. I must say that the finishing is just better on the Rolex of course. And you do get a signed crown, which you don't get on the Homage watch. And here we see the bracelets compared. I don't think the difference is too big, but I do feel that the finishing, the brushing on the Rolex bracelet is just a little bit better, just looks better. And of course a huge difference is the clasp. The Rolex clasp is very secure with a fold over, very easy to open. And you do get the Easy Link extension here in the clasp. The Milifortic clasp is much cheaper with a 2 push button release, but it is milled, not stamped. And you do get 3 micro adjustments within the clasp, so at the price point of $185 US, it's not too shabby. So let's have a look at the lume. I don't think the difference is huge, but of course the lume on the Rolex is better than on the Milifortic. And of course also an accuracy test, so the Milifortic actually does really well with the Seiko movement, approximately 4 seconds plus per day. But the Rolex 3132 in-house movement, it does much better, 0 to 1 second plus per day, and absolutely no beat error and really nice amplitude. This is definitely one of the points of the biggest differences of these two watches, the Homage and the original, that the movement is so much better in the Rolex watch. And that is of course something you pay a lot more for. So the Rolex watch is approximately $7,000 US, and that is of course much more than the $185 US Milifortic. So I do think you can see the differences. Of course you can also see that the handset is much better finished, as well as the hour markings on the Rolex. That is because they are white gold. The Milifortic is just stainless steel. Maybe it is a bit hard to sense on the screen here, but the dial, it has a much more quality lacquer look on the Rolex than on the Milifortic. And the light reflection on the hands and the hour markings is so much better than on the Milifortic. Now another reason why I wanted to compare these two watches is just to actually also have a try on a 36mm Explorer. I did a video a while back talking about the size of the Explorer going from 36 to 39 and now 40mm. So you can only get 36 or 40mm Explorers now, and I think they are missing the plot Rolex because 39 is the perfect size in my opinion for this watch. But let's try both of these watches and conclude this comparison / review of an Homage watch to the Rolex Explorer. So to be completely honest with you guys, I was never a huge fan of 36mm watches. I always thought they were a bit too small. I felt a little bit uncomfortable wearing these 36mm watches, but I must say this Milifortic here, it wears perfectly. I could definitely see myself wearing a Rolex Explorer or a Rolex Datejust in 36mm. I think it wears really nicely. It does look a little bit bigger on camera, but in real life I think it's definitely not too small, and I was very surprised by this fact. So even though this is something as bad as an Homage watch, it has helped open my eyes towards smaller sizes of watches, and thanks a lot for that, Milifortic. But I do think that the 39mm is the right size for me. It wears perfectly. I absolutely love this watch. This is one of the watches I'm wearing the most. It is so legible, it is sporty yet classy. It goes with everything, so I wear it during my spare time, I wear it at the office with a shirt. I think it's the go anywhere, do anything Garter watch in my opinion. Now thanks a lot to Milifortic for sending in this watch. If you're interested in this Homage watch, you can find a link towards Milifortic's website down in the description. My suggestion would actually be try to wear one of these watches. If you're comfortable wearing the watch, maybe save up the money for the original later down the line, because the original is so much better. Thanks a lot for watching this comparison / review of the Milifortic Homage to the Explorer from Rolex. I hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, leave a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to visit Milifortic's website, link down in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.